If you guys don't know these individuals, so on the left here, you have the actual creator of Kick. So Kick, the streaming website, this is the guy who started the streaming website that was acquired by EasyGo. Yeah, so he's had a product, but this is like the brains behind what started this website in general. And then Santa Maria, Andrew, is the head of Kick Studios now. He used to be the head of partner, but he started doing so much with Kick. I think he outgrew that. I think they now have somebody else in charge of partners. But either way, these are two very pivotal individuals on the platform of Kick.
Where would you rate Kick right now, man? You know, in the direction that it's going and where it's come from, and you know, just talking about the early days of like this turning into Kick Talk and how this is morphed. How have you seen Kick morph throughout like last almost 3 years, man?
I mean, I think that we're probably in the best
Shut up, Sergey.
spot we've been since like the early days. You know, I've obviously been here since day zero.
I agree.
When we first launched Kick. I think we have like an incredible amount of momentum going right now. There's a lot of buzz around Kick.
Kick had this early on exacerbation opportunity. Twitch handed them so many like alley-oops with some of their dog shit updates. And then, you know, Kick was just this new place. And so many creators made so much hype about it from like, I don't know, May to June. Before a lot of like the IRL stuff kind of slowed it down and the chat bugs. A lot of creators started coming over here and testing it because they were so pissed off at Twitch for doing stupid shit. And, you know, their streams were just crashing and chat was just horrible. And, like there was a time where like mobile wasn't even here. And even when it was after it was launched, it was dog shit and you couldn't like gift subs. And I think there's still issues with a lot of this stuff. And this is why I've argued for the last couple of years, like this is just quality of life stuff that should be available. You know, while they're trying to focus on all these other things and moving operations and operating in Australia while not having a team in America, but trying to get so involved with America, you know, with all this stuff, I just think I think the only thing that's really actually negative about Kick is they shoot themselves in their own foot with the time frame. A lot of this shit, just some of this shit shouldn't be a problem. Some of this shit shouldn't be an issue anymore. And it still is. It fucking hurts the website 100%. But recently there's been a lot of hype back onto it. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. I think we're seeing this this world of like multi-streaming, everybody talking about it on Twitch. I think Asmongold and Tecton are huge pivoters in this conversation. Even still, so I was seeing a turnaround over the last like year on Kick because of like the DreamHack. And what I mean by that is, you know, while you can articulate anything you want online to make something look bad, Kick has been doing a tremendous job getting on the ground with the team and creators at DreamHack events to show people like, look who's actually Kick. They've been a lot of controversial people over there. They've gotten rid of a lot of the shit there. They've restructured a lot of their TOS. It's a good fucking place. It really is. So I think Kick has this new open window right now where the tech is better. They have new infrastructure. There's new updates. Things are more sustainable while it's not perfect. It can actually handle the spike of dopamine, the spike of conversation that's being had about Kick. I think Kick is actually in the best place that it's been in the last 2.5 years, honestly. I think now is actually the best Kick has been. It's obviously not perfect, but I think now is actually the best opportunity for people to move over and take a chance on the platform.
I think the benefit of that is pretty obvious, but also for the people that have come over, I think they realize that Kick is like a legit platform now. We've built an incredible amount of tech in the last 2 years. You know, we've made leaps and bounds since we first started between, you know, the product, between moderation, between like viewer experience, the rewind feature. I mean, we've done a lot over the last 6 to 8 months, I would say. So I think Kick is sort of, you know, I don't want to say like a rebirth because we haven't gone anywhere, but it sort of feels like we have this early momentum on it. It's just super exciting to feel that again.
I think earlier on, there was this momentum of like, hey, let's check out this new place. Let's get to know each other. Ooh, new faces, new eyes. Now there's a different set of momentum. Now there's a vibe of momentum of some of us creators that have been here for years. We're rooting for this shit now. We're excited. We're excited for each other. There's viewers that have invested time and energy in here. They're pumped. They're getting excited. So not only is there this positive momentum just in general, there's a positive momentum because some of you guys as creators and viewers have put time and energy into this platform, and you've been cheering for this day to where people can actually see the benefit of from it. And I think it's working right now. I think it's more of like a hoorah now. It's like communities coming together, cheering for it. I remember Kick haters from 2 years ago coming to Kick and now solo streaming with Kick. The pendulum is swinging to the other side slowly.
I hear what you're saying about, like, you don't know if momentum's the right word. I think people are just, it's just weird. I think that people are waking up to what Kick truly is. Does that make sense? Where it's just kind of like, I mean, it's tweet after tweet after tweet that I'm seeing. Wait a minute. Kick is not this brooding platform that that others would have me believe. So it's weird. I feel like I'm having a conversation where I was having it like a year and a half ago, where I'm like, you're reading us all wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Bingo.
Yeah.
You're reading this situation just all wrong.
And let's just be clear too. Let's not pretend that some major movers in the industry didn't help build that stigma. I mean, you had sites like Discoverability that just all they ever did was just try to talk shit about the platform and make it look like a horrible place. We were shocked to find out just a couple weeks ago that Dexerto tweeted about Kick and made a couple articles about Kick in good light, talking about how good they're doing. That was super rare early on. It was just always just negative.
Really hard to break for a while. It's still, attached to a lot of people's mindsets, but I think like the only way to truly break it is to come over and see what it's like and see that, we're not what people think we are. We're super exciting. We have a great community. We have a great product. Obviously, like our monetization strategy is far surpassed from anybody else. I mean, honestly, it's really a no-brainer to stream on Kick, especially to multi-stream on Kick.
Yeah.
Especially the multi-stream on Kick. And
I think that's been their biggest push lately to help. And a lot of people are confused by that, like the dumping of the money and like the encouragement of multi-streaming and dumping money. It's this general idea of like create the hype over here and put the other people out of, put pressure on other people.
Kick story is pretty incredible, right? Like we started, just kind of came out of nowhere, right? We got so much momentum early on.
Which they weren't expecting.
We were just forced to play catch up with tech, right?
Yeah,
so
they weren't expecting any of that.
As fast as we possibly could because of the momentum that we had, the amount of users that were coming over the platform. So naturally, like in the tech space, when you're building stuff.
Rumble is pushing for more diverse creators because they don't take down wrong think. It's definitely more favorable to be a political creator over there, right?
Incredibly quickly, you take on a lot of tech debt, right? It's just the nature of the business. Either you can do things right and spend years and years doing it. With the momentum we had, that wasn't the right way to do it. Like we wanted to service our users. We wanted to give them like what they were asking for, right? So we built a lot of features and products really quickly. And then like, I don't know, maybe like a year later, we had, 20 million users on the platform. And it was like, all right, well, what do we do now? Do we start to just keep building on top of this tech debt, or do we start to like think about the long-term stability and vision of Kick and where we want the product to be? And that's when we decided to sort of say, all right, let's like, slow things down a bit. Let's rebuild a lot of like the core foundation that we kind of rushed early on to get the features out there.
Right.
And, let's build features the right way.
That's just the important thing. I can't emphasize enough that while a lot of people articulate that it was like the IRL streaming backlash that pushed a lot of people away, I think it was just like how many issues there were on the platform at the time that pushed a lot of people away. Streaming just needs to be easy. It just needs to be done and easy, in and out, snip snap. I think that's like one thing that makes that's one thing that makes TikTok streaming so annoying. It's not easy. It's fucking so annoying to get into. It doesn't even make me want to add it to my shit. And I just don't feel like with TikTok, I'm really missing out on my full potential by not adding it to my shit. The Wild West at first, yeah. It was. Painted an image that Kick is a safe haven for DJ behavior, right?
And naturally, as I said, like when you're building something the right way, of course it takes a little bit longer. But also like in the beginning of the early days of Kick, we had a much smaller team. So it was really hard to sort of do things quickly and the right way when you only have, a very small team. So now we've obviously grown considerably from a development perspective, from an engineering perspective. So we're able to push out features the right way, but also a lot quicker. And just going back to what you said about multi-streaming and sort of taking the pause there. Yeah, I mean, I think that like we really wanted the product to be very comparable to, you know, our competitors, to Twitch and to YouTube. And we didn't really want people coming over multi-streaming when they thought they were going to have sort of like a subpar experience on Kick. And
yeah, that's smart.
That was the right decision of ours. So now I feel like we're in a really good spot with the product. Obviously, we still have tons of things to do, tons of things that we want to do, a lot of really exciting stuff that we're planning. And I think like the cool thing is once you sort of get to like what we call feature parity, right? Like the features that we believe are the core experiences of Kick. Obviously, like a lot of Twitch features people expect to have on Kick, like channel points and predictions and things like that.
Yeah.
Also like a YouTube
people that have come accustomed to them.
Built that out. The fun part is like when we start to actually become creative, like when we start to make Kick its own product identity. And that's sort of, you know, what we're discussing internally right now is like, what can we do that's totally different, that's totally exciting? And what we have planned, I think, is really, really cool. So I'm excited about that.
That was one thing I didn't want them to do early on, is I didn't want them to get in this like this stressful situation of just like, what can we do to be different than everybody just always? I really wish YouTube had better chat engagement features and less complexity for setting up streams. I agree with that. You know, what's actually ironic is, you know, What's hilarious is during this duration today, you know, people would 100 viewers on Kick, 50 viewers on YouTube. People would articulate this complaint of X amount of people talking on Kick means just automatic view bot, as to where we've had like not just double the amount of chatters on Kick in comparison to YouTube, but probably 5x the amount of chatters that we've had on Kick today in comparison to YouTube. It's inherently not a place where people naturally feel obligated to go interact. Social platforms jumped on the whole streaming media, which is why every platform now has a form of live streaming. The issues with Kick is they rely solely on AWS services. So always be Twitch clone. I mean, you're very wrong there. I'm an engineer on AWS. Well, if you're an engineer on AWS, you would know why that statement is so wrong. The only issue with Kick is they rely solely on AWS services, and so it's always be a Twitch clone. To say that idea is to articulate that the entire internet is a Twitch clone, because you should also know, being an engineer with AWS, the amount of the internet that uses AWS. If anything, what Kick using AWS actually exposes is that Twitch doesn't need to exist. Because if your business can operate making billions off of Kick and not have to spend any money on Twitch, why would they constantly fucking pay the tab on Twitch's behalf? And this is exactly why we had the engineers of Twitch that were in the chat that day that are saying they're now getting ready to leave the platform because Amazon is coming along and saying we're tired of picking the tab up on Twitch. The whole entire idea of Twitch for years was not to become a successful streaming site like what you said. It was to literally advertise the service at which you work for, AWS. Because you should know that Amazon makes ungodly money off of AWS. Twitch for years was a advertisement service for AWS and what they can do, what companies and media could do if they just invest into their own IWS. And that's public information too. That's not like me twisting anything. That's like Amazon literally put out a big spiel years ago advertising this idea and directly advertised Twitch as, look at what we can do. Yes, correct. They're using Twitch stream service, which was implemented into AWS. The issue with AWS is, as an engineer, we don't have much influence on how the services work, so can only build around them. Right. But you forget about this. Amazon bought the rights for it. That's why they bought Justin TV and renamed it to Twitch. They could shut it down tomorrow and completely move on from the website. What you also should know is Twitch doesn't get those servers for free, brother. Twitch still has to pay for the servers. Now, if they don't, and you know that information, well, then you should put that information out there. Because Dan Clancy, the CEO, literally put as a reasoning why they had to cut the sub revenue, he put specifically, the CEO put in an article that they have to pay for the servers. Yeah, exactly. And that's why Twitch is in debt. The only difference from this is, in this case and scenario, Twitch has to pick up a tab, as to where EasyGo owns and operates Kick, where, like what you said, it's ran by a crypto gambling site. I don't know why that matters, because at the end of the day, why does Twitch operate? Why does Twitch operate? Twitch operates to become a giant advertisement to Amazon. the owner of the company that you are an engineer from. It's the same concept. Well, you could articulate, well, hey, that's gambling money though. That's crypto gambling money. Amazon uses Twitch to advertise fucking DraftKings or whatever multi-billion-dollar deal that they have with. There's plenty of fucking sites and businesses that operate on Amazon that their products are not made from the most ethical way whatsoever. So it's to articulate the idea that Kick is at a potential red flag because of where it gets its money from is silly. Because at the end of the day, here's the reality. Amazon doesn't fucking care. Amazon cares about making money. So if Amazon can make billions, they don't give a fuck where that money comes from. You think they cared about the investors that they've invested with? If you just look over the past 20 years, by the way, you can find controversial investors that have put money into Amazon to help it become the platform or help it become the business that it is today. They've gotten so much money from the Saudis, from BlackRock, from plenty of people where they would articulate that's not good to get their money. They don't give a fuck. They don't fucking care. You think Amazon gives a fuck about a public persona in the world of articulating, well, Kick has to watch it. Kick has to watch it. Do they really? Because Kick can continue to operate their business using the services that you work for, but Amazon doesn't have to pick up that tab. It's just pure profit. To the other point where it's like using the Twitch streaming service, you should know just as well as I should, being an engineer, that they could 100% implement something into the website to add value to it. My whole entire value is adding offline community interaction. It's not like they can't just tie community interaction into Kick. They 100% have the platform and the development behind that to add offline media consumption into it. I mean, every website since the existence of like the fucking internet has the ability to add forum. That's all you really need to do. Essentially just give everybody the ability to have offline discussion in a completely dedicated area of the website. That alone would make it exponentially different from Twitch, because we spent years literally seeing Twitch and Kick grow from those offline forums, Reddit, X, Discord, these places where you could have these discussions and share clips. That's how these sites blew up too. It wasn't just YouTube and TikTok. Some people will say, well, Amazon could just kill off Kick. If Kick's not breaking any rules, no, they can't. If you sell a service and one company is underneath you, and then a competitor comes along to use your service, you can't just cut them off and say, nope, you're not allowed because we don't want any competition. That's not how that works. And again, why would Amazon do that? There'd be no reason for them to. Because at the end of the day, Twitch loses Amazon money and Kick just gains Amazon money. Yeah, but I think me and you could both agree that if that becomes the case, they can switch that at this level now. They have enough eyes and momentum now at this level that they can do like whatever technical standpoint on the back end. That's obviously above my pay grade, but that's in your pay grade. I think it's safe to say that they clearly have the money and the ability to change that at their own will now. Whatever they would need to get that working.
Specifically, globally, it's been really, really fascinating to see where Kick has become popular throughout the world. Between Saudi, South America, Turkey, Europe, Australia, US, everywhere. It's incredible. So if you ask me about the phases, obviously, like we have our OG guys that stuck true to the platform, kept going, kept building. They're still around today. So we're forever grateful to them. But we're also, welcoming anybody that's new. We want people to come over and experience Kick. We want to listen. We want to know, like, from, I'm more of a product guy than an engineering guy, right? So I want to know.
That's very true.
What
some people will come over to Kick and be like, they hear that there's so many more users and so many more people. They're like, where are they? Because I tried to stream Buck Adventure 3D over here and I didn't blow up overnight. So where are they? You guys have no idea how well Kick is doing in other countries. And you also have no idea how bad Twitch does in other countries. Meaning, like, how much more intrusive it is for creators in other countries. A lot of creators in other countries fucking hate Twitch because of the platform splits over there. Because when you get to the other countries, it's no longer just like 50-50 as well. There's certain taxes and charges in other countries. So Kick has done a really good job in those countries.
What they're looking for next, what's important to them, what they feel like is missing, because that helps us sort of prioritize. Obviously, like we have pretty damn long list of what we want to do. But in the end, it's the creators that and the viewers that really should make the decisions in terms of like what they want us to focus on. It's been really enjoyable and probably a once in a lifetime opportunity to watch Kick grow from these phases. You know, like
that's pretty cool.
Really surreal to have 10 million users in the first 6 months, I think it was.
Could have note that I've had the opportunity to meet Paulie in person twice now. First time was a little bit more brief. Second time was at DreamHack Atlanta, and it was like a lot more. Like I actually got time to walk around the event with him, hang out with him, and this guy cares. Both these guys care. Like the staff gives a fuck. The staff really, really fucking cares. What can Kick offer for smaller streamers? Twitch algorithm makes it virtually impossible to grow your stream. Well, Twitch doesn't have an algorithm, so that's first and foremost. Second off, Kick offers what every platform offers, and it's how much you're willing to go work everywhere. That's just the reality, man. Kick is not going to... Kick will put people... This is about the only thing, and that's where people like articulate like needs to happen more. There needs to be more section to like push the smaller guy on the fucking homepage. Brother, you can force fuck small streams down 10,000 people's throats. It doesn't mean that they're going to want to watch you. It doesn't mean that they're going to fucking care. So the instead of worrying about what Kick is going to do for the smaller streamer, you need to start educating yourself on what you should do as a smaller streamer. First and foremost is to not rely on Kick to grow you. Yeah, Kick can lead you to the water. Kick is just a tool to help monetize the community that you're already building. Same thing with Twitch. I'm not going to just shit on Kick and pretend that Twitch is the same thing. X does have its algorithm where you can be discovered now based on the shit, especially depending on what you share. But like originally, the way a lot of people grew on X was they grew a following somewhere else and they converted somebody over. Kick's no different. And I'm telling you, you got to have that mentality coming out the gate. I see too many creators try to grind. Platform is irrelevant. Don't know what content you want to yeah, there you go. That's a great example. The platform really is irrelevant if you don't know what content you want to make. Go watch people at 1CCV, and I'm sure you'll find 10,000 you can't sit through for 30 minutes. And yeah, a lot of people don't want to talk about that side. Go watch people at 1CCV, and I guarantee you'll find 10,000 streamers real quick that you can't sit through for 30 minutes. Thus begins the idea and concept of instead of having the site stress about how do you push the small guy, what we really need to start focusing on is how do you encourage creators to create. I see people on homepage with like 40 to 100 viewers all the time. Even getting homepage isn't like a key to get more viewers. Yeah, half the time our homepage comes with just like more work where I just get riddled with fucking bots on the homepage and just people fucking hating, and then I just gotta fucking ban people and get more active in the stream, huh?
And now I think we're above 60
How do I get better? Do it more, bro. Do it more. Do it more. That's how you get better. Don't listen to anybody else on that aspect. How you get better is you do it more. You have to do it more. Yeah. I think Dale, actually, I think where I recognize your name is you blatantly said you only really care to watch the gaming stuff. That's fine. You're going to get more acclimated. You're going to get better at the editing. You're going to get better at knowing what to put up. You're going to get more confident, and people are going to fuck with you more. One of the best comments that I've been getting lately is, I got this actually a few times this week. People are like, dude, your recent content, you're dialed. You're locked in. It's weird how when you become more confident about something and you just know what to do, how that energy flows, man. A lot of what everything is, it really is a lot of energy. You come into something, you know, at first you're going to be more skeptical. You're not going to know really how to put your personality out on a camera and put yourself out there. But guess what? I guarantee for anybody in here, the person that spends 100 days trying to figure out how to be better, and the person that spends 100 days uploading every day, the person that uploads every day is going to be better after 100 days, 100%.
You know, we're not even 3 years old. You know, where we're going to be in another year or two is
that's crazy.
It's the fastest growing platform, you know, in comparison to existence, right? Like I don't want to discount what TikTok Live has done.
Whoa! Come on now, Andrew. I don't know where you're getting those stats. Come on. TikTok grew way faster
recently, but TikTok's been around for a long time, right? They could have come out swinging on the live front if they had wanted.
Oh, he's talking live. I thought he said platform.
What do you think it is, man? Like, what is it that is making Kick grow literally?
Yeah, I will say that in terms of just live stream, like this is a live stream service right now. But like Dale says in here, like, you know, they gotta figure out a way to grow out of that to only be live stream, or you'll just be Twitch 2.0 constantly. And it doesn't matter if they end up running Twitch out of business, which I feel like they honestly could with the amount of money that they have and how Amazon's like over just picking up the tab every year. Even if they did, eventually then Kick will just get eaten up by YouTube. YouTube will just end up dominating in the long run. You have to fucking have the offline interaction and the other ways to grow.
20% month over month. It's 18 to 20% growth month over month, man. It's bonkers.
Yeah, it in terms of a live streaming service, they are one of the fastest, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely up there in general, for sure. But I thought he said they were the fastest growing platform, and like even said like over TikTok. He meant like in the live stream aspect. TikTok was the fastest growing platform in history. And there's a huge difference between 1 billion and 60 million.
I mean, I think people feel really comfortable here. You know, it's not sort of the big brother watching over you, everything you do, sort of walking on eggshells when you're streaming. And that goes a long way as a creator. Like, you can be yourself, right? And being comfortable when you're live streaming is massive, right? You can you can just sort of do what you want to an extent, obviously. But I think opening the doors to that type of mentality has been really, really big for us.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Obviously, like, you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, our monetization is very aggressive, very supportive of the creators. You know, it gives people the opportunity.
Well, also what we forget about that, you say, but look at who TikTok is originally. That plays a massive part why they took off the way they did. Also look at a way they also took off. We don't talk about that a lot. A lot of people forget how much of TikTok was botted and exacerbated. That's what got people so addicted to the dopamine of the platform. You know, anybody could go there and feel like they were a fucking star over there. It was a attention thing. It was a dopamine thing. But a key point though, to kind of compare to what I said earlier with like what Kick needs to do next. Why I feel like Kick needs to do the offline interaction shit is Kick needs the SEO discoverability across other websites. Kick needs to have the ability to be, when you go Google search something, Kick needs to have the ability to have content pushed up in there. Because like right now, if you go Google search even like how to stream on Kick, you might have like an informative page from Kick be on the front page search. But most of the top search results are going to be YouTube, Reddit, where people are putting together posts of like how to get a stream going. One thing that after TikTok had all the growth and then got all the revenue in there and won everybody over by that, which is what Kick is doing right now with winning people over with the revenue, is TikTok leaned into the discoverability. Now people straight up just use TikTok as a place to find out where to go eat. Best place where you're in town. They treat it like Google. I still use Google for the shit, but I know people that use TikTok like a discovery engine. That's why I'm so adamant about this idea that Kick needs to incorporate a reason for that. Like, imagine if like just general conversations about streaming and topics, instead of you needing to learn what happened this week with FaZe Lacey, imagine if you could have just searched that in the top of the Kick bar to figure that out, instead of hearing a streamer talk about it and then you knowing that you need to go to Twitter or Reddit to figure out what happened to get that information. That's a very good point. Dean put in this aspect he loved about Kick, which a lot of people shit on, is just how easy it was to get on, just like Twitch. Mixer was dog shit to sign up, and I argue is actually one of the reasons that killed that website. Was it was so difficult to just make an account on that website, just so fucking difficult. When they got all that hype, the amount of people, that myself included, dude, people are lazy. You got to make it easy. I went to Mixer to go make an account when it was all like the rave, and it was so confusing. I said, I'm never coming back to this again. True. I don't remember Mixer prior to Microsoft, but yeah, when Mixer was connected to Microsoft, I was like, what is this fucking dog shit? So I just didn't bother.
I think we're just in a really good spot where we're creator first. We've always said that from day one. That's never going to change. And we're just going to continue to grow because of that mentality.
Yeah, I think Eddie really led the charge on when I used to see this guy respond to people, and he still does, who flat out rail into him, right? That are just like the cruelest thing that, and you know, keep in mind, I just come over from Twitch. I had just come over from Amazon, where it was a massive no-no, right? Like just a massive no-no to just like engage or like have a discussion, not even like clap back, but like
That's
have
weird.
a rational discussion with someone who might be making a valid point in a very visceral tweet or comment, right? And Eddie always managed to pick out the good in the comment and say, hey, you make a good point here. This is what we're doing to try to rectify it, right? And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, like,
you don't see that, by the way.
How it's done, right?
You don't see that.
Like, you know, over at these other companies I was at, they would just completely ignore any, whether it was a good or bad comment, they would just completely ignore it. And then watching you jump in there also, where I see you do the same thing, man. Like, it could be a complete visceral comment, and you will still, you know, bring it up. Now, listen, there are a lot of boneheads that I've gotten caught falling on the sword for, right? And learn from it. But to your overall point, like, it doesn't hold us back from like jumping in and listening to people who have either like really emotional, like valid concerns, or people who just have like level-headed takes that we can take and run with.
Yeah, I think it's important to listen to the good and the bad, right? Like I always try and respond to my biggest haters out there, or at least listen to what they're saying. I mean, obviously a lot of times it's just trolling, but if they have a valid point, I'm like, you know what? Like I'll post it in our business groups and in our Slack channel and say like, you know, this guy has a point. Like we should actually listen to this. Again, doesn't matter to me if someone's hating on me or kick. It's all about, you know, a lot of what we do is about priority, right? Like there's a million things we want to do. And prioritizing the product, prioritizing, you know, the staff, the engineering to get things done in the right timeline is sometimes really difficult to do, because oftentimes like something can come up and we want to pivot to that, and then we sort of change timelines and it becomes complicated. But it's just kind of like part of the day to day, and that, like I said, it ultimately comes from listening, no matter good or bad. Like if the point is valid and it's something that we can get done, you know, we're going to do it.
So real quick, let's talk about the priority list. All right. So I think, you know, very early on, our hair was on fire, right? We were just go, which was awesome. And personally, that's how I like to work. I like to just go, build, and then, you know, react and be proactive, just the whole 9 yards. If there's a good idea, like I want to run with it, but it's not crazy sustainable when you're trying to scale. And I had to learn that for sure. How has the priority, what are your priorities right now?
Dude, isn't that funny? Some of these motherfuckers will be in every single reply of some of these individuals that like running these platforms. And like, they don't put, like, they spend more time just replying to fucking be a negative Nancy on Twitter than they do on any of their shit. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
In terms of like product, what gets you excited at the top 5 of your like 200 things to do? What can the community kind of expect coming out of the gates in the coming months?
Yeah, just going back to what you said earlier, the first thing you said is I'm sort of the same mentality. Is I love to
but it's slowly dying, Sharp.
Right. It's a lot easier when your user base is a lot less. You know, like in the early days, we could sort of ship and not be too worried if something didn't work, you know, 100%, because we didn't have too many users. But now when you're shipping a feature, especially, you know, to 60 million users on all different devices, you know, iOS, Android, TVs, web, like it's a lot more complicated, and it takes a lot more time to make sure things are tested properly and done right.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I also was not a big fan of that, by the way, even early on. I don't care like that there's more users now, so they do it less. Like, I just didn't get why they would just randomly ship things that would break the site. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's okay. We only have a few million people, right? Like, it still hurts it.
I guess like a good example of that is sort of how we released some of the features over the last couple of months, right? Like channel points was a really big one that people were asking for, and predictions was a really big one. Like the rewind feature was a really big one, and
it's all free. You don't have to pay for it like on Twitch.
Relatively, you know, a lot slower than we've built products in the past, but the product itself was delivered well. and delivered across all devices, and it worked. And of course, there's going to be a bug or two, but the important thing is like we fix them right away. Like we're lucky enough to have people shouting at us on Twitter and saying, hey, like this feature is broken, can you fix it? It makes our jobs honestly a lot easier to say, okay, yeah, like they found this bug that we didn't find, let's fix it. Moving forward though, priority wise, I mean, I think, our sort of internal goal has always been like viewer experience, right? Like we really focused on the creator first for a while and making sure that their tools were there, the monetization was there, but we want to make Kick sort of like the best viewing experience possible. So I think we have a lot of, I don't want to like drop too many specifics here, but we've got a lot of like brand new features that have never been seen in live streaming before that I think is really going to increase viewer engagement. I think it's going to keep chat a lot more interesting. If you look at a live streaming platform, there's really two main components. There's the stream and then there's chat. The stream, there's only so much you can do, right? Like we can maybe update to different encoders, AV1, 2K, 4K, maybe even 8K at some point, which is on our roadmap. It's something that we kind of looked at in the past, but we realized quickly that it's sort of limited because you need to have like a badass PC to stream in 2K, 4K or like 1 gigabyte.
Yeah.
So
but a lot of viewers don't watch that
as much as it's a cool feature. So we try and like prioritize based upon what's most realistic and what's going to have the biggest effect.
Even people who thought they had badass PCs couldn't handle it. I remember a couple people that were beta testing with that. Yeah.
It's not only that, like you got to have a NVIDIA graphics card, which a lot of people do, but if you don't, then like you can't do it right now based upon the current tech with what we were working with. So we didn't really want to like segregate too much. I feel like that was a good decision that we sort of pushed that back a bit. But yeah, chat. I mean, chat is everything, right? Like if you're in the streaming business, chat is everything. So coming up with a lot more different functionalities for chat, different experiences on mobile is definitely top of mind for us. One thing I can say, and I might get in trouble for this, is like PayPal. I mean, I know that's not part of chat, but people have been knocking down the door like PayPal.
Yeah,
like,
we need it back.
PayPal back. Like I promise it's coming soon. With PayPal, like obviously everybody knows we launched that probably over a year ago at this point. I'm not sure. But the thing that happened with PayPal is we got so much volume so fast coming through PayPal that PayPal was just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like we didn't sort of have a rep. We didn't go through, have a team ready to launch. So we just kind of came out of left field and just like launched with PayPal. And they were like, whoa, what? They flagged us. And PayPal is notorious for like, they just don't want to deal with risk, right?
Yeah, well, it was like, what's Kick? Where that all of a sudden it just came on the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we started just exploding traffic through PayPal because
PayPal is just easier for a lot of people.
Unfortunately, it took a really long journey with talks with PayPal.
Again, back to the idea, just because you are okay with something, you need, like, Mixer was like the prime example when it was connected with Microsoft. Just because you're okay with something doesn't mean a lot of people are. The second they go to Kick, they want to support a creator, and they click the ability to support a creator, and they have to input a credit card, they're out. They're gone. There are tens of thousands, if not millions of people that would like click and say, oh, okay, cool, perfect, PayPal. I use PayPal for everything.
To get them to see that we're, a real company, we have real traffic, real volume, and we had to get unblocked from PayPal. And we finally did that, and we're building out the tech right now. So that is something that I'm super excited about to come soon. I think that's going to be a big win. In terms of like other monetization stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's another point. That's another point. Yeah, Stripe isn't even supported in all countries, which is another reason why PayPal was requested. Yeah.
Some interesting ways for gifting, like some new recognition for when you gift subs in chat. Some different like discount bundles. A lot of different pricing strategies. Like tiered subs is obviously another one that we're looking at right now. I'm a big advocate of we haven't decided on this internally yet, but I'm a big advocate of letting streamers choose their tiered prices. So instead of us just saying, hey, like tier 2 is $10, tier 3 is whatever, you can determine how much your tier 2 sub is or tier 3 sub is. Like why, if someone wants to sub to you for tier 2 perks, like you can choose what the value is. Why not? We just want to give
that's how it should
creators the ability to sort of customize their the viewer's experience and the tools in their hands. There's really no reason for us to dictate things that it's up to the creator to decide. If someone thinks that their tier 2 price for the perks that they're going to give or whatever those are is worth $50 a month, and they think people will pay for it, let them charge $50 a month.
Let them charge
it's not our
it.
decision. It's their creator.
Let the fucking market, let their own market dictate the price.
100%.
Yeah. So again, like I said, like bringing that sort of customization to the creator, I think is really important for us and something that we've been thinking about a lot more moving forward.
There's no notification system to let you know that your sub is running out or that you've been gifted. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's what I've been asking for a while. If I get a gifted sub in a chat, I'd like to be notified somewhere. I'd like to have some kind of notification history. But this is why I keep going back to the point that I would like in general to have some kind of feed on Kick like Reddit or X. I would like to have a notifications tab. I would like inherently to want to go here to consume content and both offline and online and have a history of, oh, I see so-and-so followed me and actually give a fuck on this. Like if I go to X right now, the first place that I go to is notifications, and I check to see. Hopefully, nobody sent me any tit pics or dick pics. But I like to, Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here. I like to scroll this to see where I am on the day. Typically, I'll go to the verified tab because this becomes a cesspool. Verified just cleans it up so much more. Oh, I see that D2O Woodworking said some things and interacted. I want to see a place where somebody gifted. I want to see a new post of somebody gifted me a sub somewhere.
But we have some really, really cool chat features that we're working on that I think are really going to be a game changer for Kick.
Well, they need to have a fucking NA team here. That's first and foremost. They're not going to create their own system until they have an actual fucking dev team in America that will just get the shit done. They're working off of this idea of like back and forth.
Where do you personally see Kick going?
I mean, I think we're already doing sort of what I want to do. I think like opening the doors for a bunch of creators to come over and experience Kick is definitely step one, right? That's probably the hardest obstacle, is just to get people in the door and try us out, right? Because obviously I'm super grateful for the millions and millions of people that have tried us out, but there's still so many more people out there that haven't. So I think we've made a
and there's people that they have to get a second chance from.
Really smart decision with the multi-streaming concept, and I'm really happy about that one. Where I want to see us moving forward is I want Kick to be its own product identity. Like I really think that we have such a creative team in-house, and the ideas that are coming out, like I want people to say like Kick is like an innovator in the live streaming space, right? Like we're not just building what everybody else is building. And like I said, like we had to do that because there's a certain level of product that you have to get to.
Yeah, now you have it. So now let's switch up and get to that point where let's build it now to where it's like they can do things to become an innovator of.
It's got to have four wheels. It's got to have a steering wheel to drive it.
Exactly. I think, like I said, we're super creative, and I really want Kick to be the platform that innovates live streaming. I think there's a lot of really interesting things we can do with chat, with viewer experience, with AI in terms of just like creating like highlight content. Something we've spoke about a bunch recently. I think shorts are really big. I know live streaming is live streaming, right? It's typically longer content, but I think like if you can find a way to sort of get people to view creators that they've never watched before through like a really good algorithm with shorts, it's a really like low friction segue into discovering a creator, right?
Yeah.
I think like vertical streaming is something that we're really keen on.
Good.
We're building out.
If they could create the tech to make it auto, that'd be huge. That'd be the big thing.
The mobile streaming apps right now, like the mobile streaming features, you can stream directly from the apps. But like again,
that's another big update that they need.
Product like that, it's not just let's build out the ability to stream from the Kick app. It's like
I don't care that
it's the baseline. How can we make it so that it's better than what anybody else has done so far? And that's always been my mentality with Kick is let's make it better. Let's product innovate. Let's be different than everybody else. So to answer your question, like we're going in the right direction. I want to be different. I want to be the best. It's never perfect, right? Like, you take chances. Sometimes they miss, but I think listening to community really helps with determining like how we innovate as well. The people out there are super smart. Like they're in the space. They know what every other platform has. They have ideas. Some of them are pretty good, you know, so we listen to those as well.
Yeah, man, I 100% couldn't agree more. And
think they're working with Meld on vertical. Yeah, and just doing little things like that too. Well, I think even just speaking out on that behalf, like we've talked about the bad rep of shit in the past, but the fact that places like Meld, Streamlabs, and all these places want to actually fucking make an effort to get shit going is huge, man.
Santa Maria, then I'm looking forward to your answer. I've been trying for over a year to find out why Kick is stealing money from streamers, and I have now been blocked on all support platforms, so it's impossible to get an answer. Well, let me just back this up real quick, all right? Kick isn't stealing money.
First off, this is the only downside with like I really do praise like Kick for doing these things and like getting out here. But like this is the only downside with Kick doing this is like the amount of fucking brain dead idiots on the internet that create fallacies and then just go fucking 100% on them. It's insane. It'd be like the idea of like, imagine if TikTok did if they would do like a live interaction to give people an opportunity to interact. Think of the tens of thousands of creators that'd be like, why'd you shadow ban me? Why am I being shadow banned? I'm being shadow banned. It's not on my content shit. I'm being shadow banned. Why'd you shadow ban me? Dude, you just set yourself up for the dumb fucking shit. There's zero incentive for a viewer to go there. The focus is so much on the creator, but if you don't have viewers, it won't go anywhere. Well, yeah, that's why your job is to create a community that would support you, not just treat viewers like a fucking mindless drone. Okay, imagine if I wanted to get you on Kick right now. Would it be better if I just say, Cricket, you dumb fucking loser, go support me on a platform? Or do you think it'd be better if I say like, hey, guys, we're building a fucking community. Cricket, if you fuck with me and you just want to support me somewhere else too, where I get better fucking sub split and I get good pay and you don't get timed out for being a supporter over there. If you just make a Kick page and support me over there while supporting me on YouTube, you don't have to leave YouTube, but if you just go support me over there, that helps a lot. One, you drive traffic there. One, you give the opportunity where what do you think the odds are if 10,000 people do that? If they just go to sign up to support the creator because they did it in a correct way, what do you think the odds are that out of the 10,000, they just, maybe while they're on Kick, they check it out. Oh shit, man. Hey, man, now, maybe this isn't as bad as a place. I'd show up now and then. Right. Just being right. Exactly. You'd show up every now and then. If I, as a creator, did a better job to articulate the idea of the benefits on the counter, just like getting people to YouTube. That's so essentially that's what we do. It's what I do on back and forth. I let my Kick chat know, like, hey, you guys support. Yeah, Lucci's really good at doing it. Ryder's really good at doing it. I give you guys the benefits. I give you guys, the viewers, the power. You guys fuck with the content. Watch where you fucking want to watch. But if right now I tell everybody that's on Kick, where we got almost triple the viewers, quadruple the viewers on Kick compared to YouTube, if I say, hey, if you guys take 2 seconds, go to the top of the chat, you don't have to go watch me on YouTube. I'm not telling you to do so. But if you got 2 fucking seconds, go click that link that's at the top of the chat. Just make sure you like the stream and type something in chat to help get the stream pushed in the algorithm. You taking 2 seconds out of your day will help our community grow. Because the more people that we get over on YouTube, the more people that we're going to get engaged to converse about Kick. And then vice versa. Hey, guys over on YouTube, if we've been talking about Kick all day, if you don't have a Kick page yet, take that fucking baby step. Go fucking sign up on a Kick. Just see what it's at least about. If you don't like it yet, if it's not there, fuck yeah, stay over on YouTube. You see what I did there? I didn't just say, you're a fucking mindless viewer. Go fucking watch somewhere else that benefits me. I'm giving you the option, man. And the good thing is, communities are hard to maintain. People get bored. Bingo. And the good thing is, between Kick and YouTube, it's beneficial to both. The longer you stay in my YouTube stream and support the YouTube stream, we're going to get pushed into the algorithm. It's just inevitable. The more analytics you show over there, it gets better for the stream. Same thing with Kick. The more of you guys that go over to Kick right now and just fucking spam some emotes over there, or just the sheer fact that you would be clicking on my Kick stream from YouTube, all that shit is just going to help drive my Kick pay up. It's just constant back and forth. I get what you're trying to say, incentivizing the viewer to be a viewer on the platform. I think Kick has some things to work on to do that. For sure. I think there should be, like, even to incentivize subs for people to want to sub on the platform. I love what Twitch did years ago. Hey, you sit and watch through an ad, you get free bits, you can support the streamer. Oh God, here we go. I love this. I'm a Kick loyalist. Eddie has me on payroll, wants to yell at me because I'm a Kick loyalist. Meanwhile, I'm live on Twitch too, and Twitch has every opportunity to fucking grow over here. but some reason only 6 people want to watch. While I'm live on YouTube with 40 fucking viewers and live on Kick with 117. I'm the Kick loyalist while I'm live everywhere talking about all websites, literally just gave information on YouTube. So what's actually the problem here is Bobble Brown is a fucking Twitch dick rider. This guy fucking gobbles the fucking purple cock all goddamn day long. It's just easier to go around and hate on other people. Jesus fucking Christ, shut the fuck up. All your content is spreading information about Kick. You're trying to get everyone in the world of Kick. Guys, all my content is just all about how to grow on Kick. I'm just a Kick commie as they articulate. This is the problem. This is the problem nowadays. People take their insecurities and the lack of their success and they create shit in their fucking head and then they fucking run with it. Listen, I'm just going to help you out real quick. I'm not the reason for whatever shit you're mad about. This is the problem. Like Paulie said, they had a lot of early backlash. They're trying to fix a whole bunch of shit. And they openly admit that. And the problem that we have now, it's not from actual ration. It's not from educated people that are actually weighing platforms as an option. That's what you guys just seen. I didn't stage that, guys, by the way. I didn't fucking make that person do that. I fucking promise you. That is the tens of thousands of people that you see on Twitter, even down to some of the big creators that you see on Twitch. That's the people that are negatively talking about Kick. So while everybody had open conversation all day today on every other platform, and you guys seen the person have a complete fucking crash out, one, where did the crash out come from? It came from fucking Twitch. And two, did you guys see anything that they talked about all day today? Have you guys seen anything that would back up the idea that Kick's a horrible place, that Twitch is the better place to be? Because I sure didn't. Nope, that guy represents the majority bell curve of people against... It's funny that you actually use that term. The bell curve of people against Kick, and previous debates with YouTube versus Twitch before Kick came to the mix. Yeah, Kick Kami was crazy fucking comms. Kick Kami was crazy comms. Guys, at the end of the day, the conversation should always be use these platforms like tools for your arsenal. Take advantage of them yourself. What works for one guy might not work for the other guy, and that includes Kick. Some of you guys might have more success over on Twitch. That's completely fine. Open your fucking mindset to the shit and stop fucking belittling everything to the idea that the platform is supposed to make you grow. And if that doesn't happen, it's just a shitty place. Or that some online loser told you that Kick is a bad place to be on X, because the reality is most of the people on X, that's who they are.